going on, legends? We're here for another DIY install. This time we're putting on a tub rack onto my MP300 Navara. I'm using the Legend X tub rack purely because they're renowned in the industry for having high quality products. If you're fitting something else or another brand tub rack, this video is still probably going to help you out in getting it installed. Now, the installation process is about 2 hours. You're going to need a few specialty tools, which I'll run through in a second. On the difficulty level, it's probably about a 4 or 5. You may need a second person to give you a hand. Having the right tools though does make it a lot easier, guys. So let's get stuck into it and check out how it's done. Tools, 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 tools. The tools that you'll need. So we're gonna have to be marking out some holes. So we're gonna need a tape measure, ruler, a marking pen. Once you've marked out your holes, you're gonna need to center punch them using an automatic punch or a manual punch with a hammer. You're gonna need a drill bit or a step drill bit, up to you. I'm gonna be using a step drill bit today. Chamfers the holes nicely on the outside automatically for you. If you're using a drill bit, it will be 13 mil. Obviously, a drill is gonna be needed. Once you've drilled your hole, you need to deburr it. So some sort of deburring tool to get all the metal from the other side out of the way is a good idea. Alrighty, you're gonna have bare metal, guys, so paint pen of some sort is gonna be needed to touch up the bare metal after you've drilled your hole, guys. Alrighty, once you've done all that, you're gonna need to do up some nuts and bolts. So you're gonna need a socket set, shifter set, spanner set, or an automatic drill. Alrighty, guys, so because we're using rivnuts to mount the Legend X tub rack, we're gonna need a rivnut tool. Shout out to H&B Warehouse off eBay for supplying me with a good rivnut gun and a bunch of rivnuts. Guys, I'm gonna link the description below for their store on eBay. Hopefully they give us some sort of discount code as well that we can use, and I'll also put that down there if they do. Give you guys a little bit of something off the rivnut tool. Rightio, so it looks like I'm getting 1490 as my measurement from side to side on the tub. So I'm gonna go get the tub rack set up for that measurement and we can do a test fit and make sure it's right. So for this step, you're gonna need to grab your nuts, bolts, flat washers that are supplied with the Legend X tub rack. You're gonna need to flip the tub rack over onto the bottom, which is the side where these plates are close to the top of the rail itself. That way, when you're doing it all up, the bolts on the other side don't protrude over the top, so don't catch things on it when you're putting it on the tub rack itself. You're also going to need something to do up the bolts with, and you're going to need a tape measure to check that 1490 measurement, or whatever your measurement was, side to side, so we can do a dummy fit with the tub rack, guys. Let's get stuck into it. Rightio, guys, so just a quick tip to make sure the tub rack sits center in your tray, have each side matching exactly the same spots on the tub rack. Alrighty, guys, so once you've done outside to outside measurement on both sets of feet, matching your tub measurement that you got before, time to put all the bolts in, chuck it in the tub for a dry fit, adjust if needed. Gonna do a rough mark as to where I want it. Alrighty, so now we've got to do the measurements from bolt hole center to center, inside, outside, to get ready to mark the tub to drill the holes, guys. So let's get those measurements. So we've got 915 on the outside holes, center to center. We've got 725 center to center on the inside holes. So we want to get center to center measurement on the bolt hole on each leg as well. So looks like we've got 95 mil there as our center to center measurement. We also want to get the measurement from the center of the bolt hole to the outside of the leg, which is 25 mil. So what we want to do is we want to take those measurements into the tub, mark them out with a ruler, drill the holes, put the riv nuts in, mount the tub rack up. Let's get started. Rightio, so grab your ruler, grab your marker, and let's get measuring the bolt holes. So when I did the dry fit before of the tub rack, I did an outside to outside measurement of the arms. That way it gives me a bit of a position to go off. Now first things first, to get our first bolt hole location, we need to measure 25 mil in from this outside measurement to the first bolt hole. So grab your ruler, throw down a mark. Okay, so once you've done your measurement of 25mm in from the outside, you're going to want to measure 20mm up from the bottom here to the center. Put a mark at 20mm. So the top of that line is where our first hole is going to be, guys. Rightio, we've got our trusty center punch here. Going to go on that line, top of that line, center. Mark the center hole there. Rightio, so we know our center to center measurement is 95mm. So from that guy there, that we've just used the center punch on, mark out 95mm, which is there, and then measure 20mm up from the base, like before. And that's going to give us our next center punch hole. Alright guys, so that's our first two hole locations. Just double checking the 20mm measurement and then double check the 95 center to center. Rightio legends, so we need to get our next center to center measurement of the inside holes of the legs on the tub rack. So we're going to grab a tape measure, put it on the hole punch mark of the inside hole and measure out 725, which is our other inside hole measurement, center to center. 725, grab your marker and draw a line. Rightio, so once you've got 725 from center of this hole to your mark here, measure 20mm up from the base like the other ones. Grab your punch, mark the center of that hole. Double check your measurement. Spot on 725, guys. Rightio guys, so once you've measured to the inside hole and you've punched the hole, remember it's 95mm from center to center of each leg on each bolt hole. So we'll grab our ruler again and measure 95mm to the center of the hole we just punched then. It's 95mm there. Do a dot and then measure 20mm up from the bottom again. And she's done. So we've got all four holes now on one side of the car, ready to drill. Let's do some double checking of measurements, guys. I reckon we're ready to drill some holes. Let's get stuck into it. Don't forget PPE. So I've done a couple of holes with my step drill bit. I'm going to do a couple with some normal drill bits to show you guys the difference. So we're going to go from a 4 to a 7 and then to the 13. Now make sure you're careful with a drill bit like this. You've only got a thin bit of material to work with. Don't drill all the way through onto the other side, so make sure you're having a bit of back pressure as well as forward pressure. Don't push all the way in, guys. You'll punch through onto the other side and put a dent in it. Moving on to the 7mm. We've done a 4mm, we've done a 7mm, now for the 13mm drill bit. Right, we'll do a test fitment of our riv nut. Perfect. Alright, so that is a guide to using the 10mm riv nuts, so which have a 13mm outside diameter on them. That's for the Legendex tub rack. Yours could be a little bit different, but if it is, just check your measurements and go off that for your final drill bit size, guys. Now, once you've done that, we're going to get stuck into doing the other side. Alright, so we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side of the car. So that is everything done. All the holes have been drilled on either side of the car. Now, if you're wondering how I got them even on either side, I measured off the back here to the first hole, and then also double checked it. I had a sports bar here, so I could use these holes as well to double check the inside hole and go off that. But if you use some guides off the tub to get your measurements accurate, best way to do it, guys. Just a quick recap, double check your measurements, guys. Don't forget to start off with a small drill bit like I did. Work your way up to the biggest size drill bit that you're going to be using for your riv nut hole. Don't start off with the biggest drill bit or you'll end up burying it or probably slipping on the drill and not doing an accurate hole. So start off small, work your way up, don't get impatient with that one. What you want to do to finalize everything up is grab your chamfering tool and your paint pen. So with a chamfering tool, you can run it round through the inside and clean up any burrs that you have. You can also clean up the outside if you want to as well. And that way you've got a clean surface to put the paint pen on. From there we can go ahead and start riv nutting and then get this tub rack on the car. Let's get into it. Righto guys, just a quick tip before you start riv nutting. Make sure that your bolt that you're going to be using suits your riv nut pitch. So just screw them together and make sure that they screw into each other and the pitch is correct. You don't want an awkward situation where you put your riv nuts in and then your bolts don't match. You have to go get new bolts, guys. So time to get the riv nut gun set up, ready to do the riv nuts on each side of the car. Now this riv nut gun has been supplied to me by H&B Warehouse. They've got an eBay store, guys. There'll be a link below in the description to jump straight into that one and check it out. Okay, so if you're starting off with a riv nut gun for the first time, read the instructions. So first things first, take the top nut off. Then the next one. And then you need to take this guy off. Now this is the thread that determines which size riv nut tool you're going to be using. So this one that they've got installed on the gun is an M8 to start off with. So we need to grab the M10 box, this one here, and grab the threaded tool out of that one. So go ahead and thread that into the end of the gun, all the way down, until it's fully screwed in. Grab the next one, screw that on, tighten it up slightly, then grab the top cap out of the M10 box, screw that into place and tighten it up slightly as well. And that's now set up for an M10 riv nut. If you're unsure about any of those steps, you can find everything in the instruction manual. So I've just realized that this tool has a really cool feature that I didn't know about. So I'll go ahead and put another nut cert in and show you what goes on. Push against the side, clamp it down, and all you have to do is close and open up the tool and it automatically unwinds out of the nut cert. Pretty cool. Righto guys, so that's it. Nut certs are in place. It's time to get this tub rack put on the car and done and dusted, guys. Pass it over. Righto guys, so make sure you have some bolts ready to go with some washers on them so you can put them in each corner just to hold it in place for now. Oh, let's hope it fits. Done!
Well, not
it was
quite.
a success.
It's not finished yet.
It was a great success.
He still has 4 screws to go in.
Make sure you start every bolt by hand. Don't use a tool to get the bolt started. You could cross thread it. Just wiggle it around a little bit until the bolt starts and keep wiggling it until it screws in if you need to. If you have to do that, do it. It's better than using a tool and cross threading it and having to take the riv nut out and start again, guys. You'll be kicking yourself if you do it. Rightio guys, so the tub rack is now installed. I'm absolutely stoked with how this thing's come up. Just a quick recap on what we've done in this video, so make sure you got the right tools. If you're missing anything, go to Total Tools and grab them, that's where I got mine from. H&B Warehouse on eBay is where I got the rivnut gun from. If you need one of those guys, jump on and grab one of them. They're not expensive and they made this job a lot easier. If you're doing it without a rivnut, you're going to be using just a nut and bolt through the material, and it's really not as stable and it's not as accurate as well. So this is a nice clean finish, guys. I prefer it. I recommend doing it. Now, make sure you measure twice and drill once. Okay, so you saw me in the videos double checking my measurements. I recommend doing the same thing. This installation took about 2 hours, guys, total. It was about a 5 on the difficulty level because I did need to get Amy in to give me a hand with this one, holding some things up while I got my measurements and got my rough positioning. So it is a 2-person job, but really it's relatively easy as long as you've got the right tools. Makes the job not too hard at all, guys. So I hope this video in some way has helped you. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel for more videos, guys, and I'll see you next time.